welcome to This Day. It is Monday, March 18th. I'm Michael Taylor. Did you have a great St. Patrick's Day? I'm wearing a little bit of leftover green from St. Patrick's Day. I had a good time. I went to Patsy's, not quite Patsy's in Laguna Niguel. I was right next door getting a haircut, but I saw Patsy's and it looked pretty raucous for the day. They were having a little bit too much fun. Some people were having fun. Some people have too much. That's the way it goes on St. Patrick's Day, though, doesn't it? I actually had dinner up in Long Beach with family, and it was really great. I had corned beef and cabbage, all the fixings, so that was a fun day. Hope you had a great St. Patrick's Day as well. We have a great show for you today, and let's talk about that right now. We have the folks from Amazing Hearing going to be coming on, talking about the ringing in your ear. It's not just maybe a hangover from yesterday, but actually might be tinnitus. So you might have some challenges there. They're going to talk about some of the treatment methods that are available to help treat tinnitus and some other hearing issues. So stay tuned for that. And later in the program, the folks from the Democratic Club are going to be here. They're going to be talking about their new guest speaker they have coming up at their next meeting, getting out the vote and the election drive and what's coming up. So lots of fun stuff to talk about with them as well. Hey, we got another thing to talk about. When you go to the next meeting here in the village, you are going to get an electronic agenda. So not going to be printing the paper agendas anymore. They're transitioning over to electronic agendas. It's an effort to promote sustainability and efficiency, and they are adopting these packets that are now on your phone. So when you get there, you open up the camera on your device, you aim the device at the QR code, and you just click the link that pops up, and you'll be able to access the entire agenda right there on your phone. Instead of printing those reams for the agendas, it is eco-friendly shift that eliminates the need for hundreds of reams of paper annually, and it costs the village more than $25,000 a year. So that's good savings for them by switching over to the electronic method. So get ready for that at the next VMS meeting. All right, let's take a look outside at our weather. And we have a nice day. It's going to be mostly sunny. We've got a few clouds out there, but then we're going to hit some PM clouds. Now, remember, I don't know if you noticed, last Friday they had some rain out in Rancho Santa Margarita and some of the mountain areas where that's going to develop again today, the same thing. And some of those clouds may shift all the way over to us. So we may actually have a slight chance of actually thunderstorms here, but it's probably not going to be, probably just going to be a little bit cloudier in the afternoon, but we're going to have mostly sunny for most of the day, and then in the afternoon, some clouds. Then as we move through the week, we're going to be partly cloudy for most of the week and in the 60s, and then we actually have some rain in the forecast coming up next weekend too. But for now, looks pretty good, except for maybe a little slight chance of rain today. Let's look at that sunrise and sunset while we're at it. We have a great picture here, you guys. This is the winner from the Laguna Woods Art Association. They have all the paintings here in the community center, and people voted, and this was the winner, Linda Reddy. We talked about this last week, but I wanted to put this up there one more time for our picture for our sunrise and sunset. It's a great shot. Sunrise this morning was 6:56. Sunset, days are getting longer. We're already into 7 o'clock now. 7:01 is going to be the sunset tonight. If you'd like to send us a picture of anything outdoors, sunrises, sunset, your pets, places that you visited, you can go ahead and do that. Email us at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com, and we will use your picture in the sunrise and sunset segment. All right, we've got a meeting to tell you about. Then when we come back, we'll be talking to the folks from Amazing Hearing. Stay with us.
No one deserves to be ashamed of their smile. MacArthur Dental Arts is here to bring back your confidence. We specialize in at-home personalized smile restoration through the power of dental implants and perfect fit dentures. I'm here to answer all your questions with free in-office consults or using our Laguna Woods in-home service special. Don't wait to get the secure, worry-free smile you deserve. Visit MacArthurDentalArts.com or call the number on your screen to schedule your consultation today.
Hi, my name is Gary Russell, and I recently have moved to Laguna Woods Village. At Live Smart Technologies, we specialize in 3 things: home automation, simple security systems, and home computer networks. We are knowledgeable, very affordable, and genuinely want to help you. In the coming weeks, we will be talking more about how these amazing systems can benefit just about everyone. We provide free estimates and will schedule an on-site walkthrough at your convenience. Give us a call.
Oh, life, how we admire you, are deeply fascinated by you. All your twists and turns and wild rides you take us on. The ups and the downs. Life, you live inside all of us, breathing, growing, beating. You are the reason we'll always provide. World-class healthcare. Providence, we see the life in you.
We all need someone to hold our hand now more than ever. And when you need help with your hearing, we will not only hold your hand, but we'll help walk with you through the process.
Hi, I'm Ann Mundell Noel, audiologist and owner of Amazing Hearing.
Oticon's More Hearing Aids with deep neural networking and artificial intelligence helps you hear people in noise with greater detail and clarity. The Oticon More and Amazing Hearing. We're here to help give you a helping hand.
Like so many things, unfortunately, as we get older, we have more challenges, and one of those can sometimes be our hearing, and it can fail us in many different ways. We're going to be talking about tinnitus today, and from Amazing Hearing, we want to welcome Ann Mundell Noel and Gabby Rodriguez.
Thank you
for
having
joining
us.
So, tinnitus, am I saying it right? What is tinnitus? I've always said tinnitus.
So tinnitus, tinnitus, they're both correct.
Okay.
So there's no wrong answer. You got it right there. So, yep, the ringing in the ears, tinnitus, that's the name of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I actually have tinnitus. I always had a ring in my ears. I went to a million concerts when I was a kid, and the loud music. I know what the source was, but where does it come from everybody? Is it just always kind of impactful, loud noises that are damaging the ear, or are there other ways?
So when you went to that concert and you came away from it with the loud ringing in your ears, that was your brain telling you, hey, you're hurting me, get out of here.
Okay.
And so usually after a couple days, did it then go away for you?
When I was younger.
Right, when you were younger. Because what happens is the brain kind of the body can recover. But as you get older and you keep damaging those hairs, they can only take so much trauma, and then that loss is permanent in that area, and that's where that ringing is coming from.
Okay, so how many people have this condition in the world, or is it in our society?
A lot. Yeah, a
About
lot.
50 million.
50 million or so.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And so is it kind of just a cumulative thing? Is it a lot of people are going to get it, or it's, a certain percentage are just bound to get it because of the work they do, or maybe I work in construction, running jackhammers, military explosions, things like that?
It can be caused by so many different things. Hearing loss is the #1 cause of tinnitus, but your medication, your diet, how much you're exercising, stress, all these things really play a factor. So just like we said, sometimes it goes away, sometimes it doesn't go away. So it's really hard to say, how many people and at what point in their life they'll get it.
Okay.
But it's more common than you think.
Okay. Now, for me, I've just learned to live with it. Do a lot of people just kind of learn to live with it until it maybe gets to the point where it's interrupting my ability to hear and interact with folks?
So in the past, that has been kind of the venue that people have done, is just the doctors will tell you, sorry, there's nothing that can be done. And they are correct. There's nothing that can medically be done as far as surgery or medications. And when people see those drops they're putting in, no, that doesn't work. That is all external. It's out here.
Okay.
And the tinnitus is actually coming from the brain. So what's happening is, when we hear, and when we're younger, we get a full spectrum of sound, right? The sound from the left ear goes to the right side of the brain, the sound from the right ear goes to the left side of the brain, and then the two sides tell each other what's going on. So when we have a hearing loss, even a noise-induced hearing loss, where there's just a little portion of our brain that's not getting a full sound, the brain is still expecting a full sound, and when it doesn't get it, that extra energy is the ringing. So the ringing is actually a neural activity in the brain that's saying, I'm missing, and listen to me, pay attention, and sometimes...
So it's kind of filling in the blanks for us.
Well, or
in
it's
a weird
alerting
way.
you. No, it's like a signal waiting for an input, and it's not getting the input because there's loss. And so the brain is still waiting for it. So the ringing is there. So what's really exciting for us is that in the past, we had to say, just live with it. But now, Widex, one of our manufacturers of hearing aids, has a whole new system where they address it. They don't mask it like other manufacturers used to, but they actually address it. And I think Gabby can talk to you a little bit
Yeah.
about the Zen therapy and what that is.
Yeah, amazing things for patients that I've seen in the office recently. Zen therapy takes different kind of fractal tones, right? It's a sound or a song, nothing that your brain can anticipate, and
Okay.
it's stimulating the nerve where you need the stimulation. That tells your brain, hey, you're gonna get what you need, let's calm down. We don't need to send this, annoying ringing or buzzing.
Really? Kind of like an acupuncture for the ear.
Kind of.
Right? Because the
yeah.
acupuncture would be hitting the nerves and relieving that in some way. So that's kind of
sure.
what's happening there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So what's happening with Widex is their software, it is a hearing aid, so you are wearing a hearing aid, but going back to your comment about I'm young, I don't have hearing loss, but I have ringing. We have patients now who come into the office just like that, but they will have maybe a noise-induced hearing loss, like we said, just one frequency, or some medications have caused hearing loss, and it's minimal, right? So they can function, everything's fine. But the ringing causes them to want to go crazy. So we've had one patient come in, and her hearing is totally normal, but she said the head noises, I am not able to function. We put the devices on her, and instantly it went away. And she's like, no. So she took them off, the ringing was there. She put them back on, the ringing went away. And so her colleague came into the office for something for hearing and for hearing aids, and she said to me, and she is a different person. She's humming at work, she's pleasant. So here these devices are changing the way people perceive tinnitus.
Now, when we say head noises, is that a difference between tinnitus? Or
No, that's tinnitus.
So that's also part of it. So is it a different thing than the tone, or is it?
It's different for everybody.
Okay,
some people
okay.
get buzzing, some people get ringing, it's
Okay.
constant, it comes and goes, different pitches. So it's really different for everybody, which is why Widex is really kind of the latest and greatest, because it's kind of all encompassing for the different ways tinnitus presents itself.
Now, is it kind of an AI thing as well in terms of does it learn your tone, or can it learn anything, or is it's just doing the treatment and it's hitting in the right spots?
When we have a prescription, so the hearing test that we do is essentially your prescription, whether there's a tiny bit of loss or a whole lot of loss. We are prescribing the hearing aid and knows what levels we need the tones at.
Okay.
And then we're getting the appropriate stimulation that way.
So you have ability to kind of fine tune it according to the patient and their loss.
Yes.
Right, and so along those same lines, that's why audiologists, having a master's or a doctorate degree in hearing science, we are the only ones who can treat tinnitus. A hearing aid dispenser cannot.
Right.
So even though a hearing aid dispenser might be able to dispense that hearing aid, they're not equipped to know physiologically what's happening in the body, and that's why we are more the specialist definitely for tinnitus or tinnitus.
This isn't a Costco item anytime soon.
Never. Yep, never. And so just going back to kind of that Costco tone, or that Costco thing, that's the difference between coming to Amazing Hearing. As
Right.
audiologists, we are full spectrum for hearing. We do everything from preventative to counseling to fitting to tinnitus. So you're getting a different vibe and experience when you come into us rather than just purchasing a hearing aid.
Right. And how do you start the process? Is it making an appointment? I've got it, come on
Yeah.
in, and you guys are going to fine tune us?
Definitely. So getting a baseline hearing test, let's first find out, is it hearing loss? Because if it's not, there's still, of course, the option, but checking medications, looking at diet, stress, all the things, we're going to walk you through every single step to kind of find out maybe why, and then also come up with a resolution and a plan together.
Okay, all right. And then before we go, I want to talk about your recycling program a little bit. So you guys are doing some good stuff there in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're collecting plastic bottles and aluminum cans, so anything that has a California CRV on it. We don't take regular recycling, just the California CRV, but anybody can bring it in the office. You don't have to even be a patient, but we have lots of people dropping it off. We collect it, we're storing it locally, and then we're using the money to put in water wells in Uganda.
That's fantastic.
Yep, in the last 14 years, we put in 12 water wells just from this program.
Amazing. You guys are doing amazing work at Amazing Hearing. And
There you go.
real quick, is this covered by, I know it's pretty new, is it covered by any insurance yet in terms of prescription and that kind of thing?
If they have hearing aid coverage through their insurance, they may.
Oh, terrific.
And so it's always something to look into for sure.
Fantastic. From Amazing Hearing, Ann and Dr. Gabby, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll be talking to the folks from the Democratic Club. Stay with us.
Adapt to it, we strive to make the everyday tasks easier by providing our customers with the tools they need to be successful. We carefully explain the use and care of all of our equipment. Adapt to it has been in Laguna Woods for over 20 years, and we know that nothing in life stays constant. So we can help you adapt to all the changes in your life. Adapt to it sells and rents items and always delivers with a smile. Come in today to experience what we mean when we say, when you can't change it, adapt to it.
We promise to meet you with an open heart and curious mind. To never have the answers before we've heard your story. Because you are not everyone else, and healthcare is not one size fits all. Highest performing hospital, top ranked physicians, 50 convenient locations, right here in Orange County. You, empowered by Hoag.
I'm so happy to recommend Dr. Fairman. I've been going to her for 9 years. She's done implants, crowns, bridges, root canals, and I've been happy with everything that she's done. The staff is so friendly and pleasant, kind, and gentle. I would recommend her to anyone.
We are now fully open for all your dental needs and invite you to come in and experience the brilliant smile difference.
We are close to Gate 6 near Snooty Fox Restaurant behind Coco's.
Hi, remember us?
We're back,
Christine and Jack from the Jewelry Box.
which is now the Jewelry Box Estate Buyers.
Relocated in a new spot in our old shopping center.
But we're still Orange County's preeminent buyer of gold, jewelry, watches, and flatware.
And we're still a full jewelry repair center. And with our 3 graduate gemologists, we're still here to appraise your special pieces.
And like always, at the Jewelry Box Estate Buyers,
it's about trust.
Doing a quick check of the hair before we got on the air. From the Democratic Club, I want to welcome Jeannie Lepowski and Alan Feldman. Thanks for joining us. And lots going on in politics. You guys have a big meeting coming up with a great speaker. Tell us all about it.
Yes. Well, first of all, let me thank you and thank everybody at Village TV for giving us this opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. We love having you.
We appreciate it. It's not something you get every place. But back to the question on the table. Yes, our monthly meeting, a regular monthly meeting is tomorrow. Tuesday, March 19th, 7 p.m., Clubhouse 2. And we are fortunate in that our meetings are going to continue at Clubhouse 2 at 7 p.m. on the third Tuesday of every month, as they've gone on for the last couple of years. With Clubhouse 1 closing.
It's going to put a kink in a lot of the schedules.
A lot of scrambling around. People are, different venues, different days. But we're fortunate, and we're also fortunate with our speaker, who is going to be Andrew Lackman. Andrew is he's been involved in politics for 20 years, more than 20 years. He's an attorney, and he is an elected delegate. He's elected to the Democratic National Committee from Los Angeles. And that's the role, of course, he'll be speaking to us in tomorrow. He's going to give us a national overview of the U.S. Senate races, especially the U.S. Senate races in what's known as the swing states. I know that's a term that people hear all the time.
Right.
It's a kind of amorphous term, but what it means in this context, and most contexts, is states which aren't predominantly Democrat or predominantly
Republican. Purple states.
Exactly, like Orange County. States that are like Orange County. They swing literally from one to the other. And we're talking about states like Pennsylvania and Virginia and Georgia, and Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada and Arizona. And these are critically important in the presidential election, that whoever carries most of these states has been the winner in our last several elections. But I think we've seen also in the last year or so how important control of Congress is. we have right now what we call divided government. One party controls one house of Congress, the other party controls the presidency, the other house. And that's something that's always worked for us in this country, but it's stopped working. I don't want to...
Yeah, it's come to a little bit of a grinding halt. And we've had that before back when we had the shutdown under Newt Gingrich and those kinds of things. It was kind of like this log jam, but it certainly seems more pronounced right now.
Yeah, it's that, well, the House has been not dysfunctional, it's been unfunctional. It just hasn't been able to do anything. It's barely been able to keep the government funded. Every month we go through the drama of the continuing resolution. So we feel really that the Senate races and the House of Representative races, they're not quite as important as the presidential election.
But it's huge.
They're close.
It's pretty
They're
pretty
close,
big.
and that's what we'll be talking about on Tuesday.
So Jeannie, talking about that, the primary turnout was kind of anemic in terms of like the turnout in California. It was, but we had some big decisions go on, right? Is this good, bad? How's it looking in terms of when the general that's coming up?
Well, it's in terms of how it's looking as far as the general is, a lot of unknowns, a lot of uncertainty.
Right.
The turnout. You mentioned the California turnout. California turnout statewide was, as of last Friday, was 33.9%. Orange County slightly higher at 37%. Laguna Woods, 68%.
There we go. You guys are doing a great job getting the vote out.
And not just the Democrats. The Democrats
right,
had
the
68.7. The Republicans had 67.7. So essentially the same, virtually the same turnout. So Laguna Woods is very involved. In terms of opportunities that we missed in this election, we missed an opportunity to elect judges that have a variety of experience. And the thing about the judgeship elections, they only happen in the primary. They don't go on to the November election.
Right, so that's that.
We had, for example, usually we elect judges who are prosecutors. Somehow that seems to appeal to the public.
Right, kind of the tough on crime kind of attitude towards I want judges in there, they're going to enforce the law as though maybe a public defender couldn't possibly enforce the law as well as a prosecutor.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, but the thing is, most cases are civil cases. There are a lot of family law cases, and we had an opportunity to elect somebody who was an expert in family law. That's where he made his career, and he didn't win. And I think, the consensus among people I talked to in the club seems to be that people tend to vote for prosecutors. And I would like to see people give more depth of thought to having a variety of experience among the judges that we elect.
Now, in terms of that, these are down ticket kind of things, and people aren't paying as close attention. So I think sometimes people go in there, and the only information they have when they look at that is what it says there on the ballot, prosecutor and that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So do you think it's a matter of getting the word out for folks a little bit? How can you market somebody in terms of saying, hey, this is somebody who can do a little bit of a better job, we think?
Well, that's what we do in the Democratic Club, is we do some research on all of the candidates. We endorse those that are not already endorsed by the state party and the county party. And with the judges, we do very, very in-depth research and interview them and see what their background is, and then within our club, we also make recommendations.
Right, and you guys bring in great speakers, like the Republican Club does as well. They bring in the down ticket candidates, the people who don't get the exposure.
Exactly, and that's we have the luxury of being retired people who don't have jobs, and so we have the time to do things like that. And unfortunately, most people in the rest of the state are too busy keeping body and soul together and taking care of their families, and
a little bit of a challenge.
It's
you guys are also getting out to things, Village Bazaar, the Village Expo.
Yes.
Why is it important to get out there and see the people and let people know what you guys are doing?
Well, we do a couple of things at those events. The Village Expo, which is I don't know.
That's coming up on the 30th.
Yeah, on the 30th, and the
bazaar is coming up of next month. Both of these are next month on the 6th and the 30th.
The 6th and the 30th, yeah. So we like to, one of the things we do is we want to register voters or re-register voters who want to either, they've moved or they've changed parties or, whatever. But the other thing we like to do is we just like to talk to people. We like people to get to know who we are as Democrats and what they can expect if they decide to join our club or get on our mailing list. And so it's a way of letting people get to know us.
Okay, terrific. You guys, I want to plug one more time before tomorrow's meeting. We'll make sure we get the Andrew Lachman, and he is a member of the Democratic National Committee, and he's going to be your speaker talking about all of the big races and all the swing states and what's going on, and give the guys a great idea of what's happening there. You can also bring your recycled bottles and cans over for South County Outreach. Alan, what do you got going on next month?
Well, we continue with politics, strangely enough.
Oh my goodness, I'm shocked.
Tuesday, April 16th, 7 p.m. at Clubhouse 2, regular monthly meeting. We're going to be going over the results of the March primary in detail. And to do that, we're going to have Professor Jody Balma, who is the head of the political science department at Fullerton College. And she's one of the there are so few people, I've heard there's 3 people, I don't know if that's true or not, in Orange County who not only write and cover Orange County politics, but actually do research and study it. And I know that Jody Balma is one of those people. She's going to tell us about what she sees happening in the primaries, why she believes they happen, and what it means moving forward in November. And she was here 2 years ago. She did such a great job. She was here after our elections. She was here like a week after the November elections in 2022. And this was before all the votes were counted and winners had been declared. She ran through all the local races, the ones that hadn't been declared yet. She told us exactly who was going to win. She gave us her opinion as to why. And to me, the most impressive thing that she did was she told us before a winner had been declared in any of these races, the votes had been counted, that Katie Porter would be leaving Congress in 2024 and running for Senate, and that Dave Min would be leaving the state Senate in 2024 and running for Katie Porter's congressional seat.
All right.
So she was quite prescient with that, and we're hoping for some more prognostication like that.
The crystal ball will be there on next month's meeting as well. Well, thank you both for coming in, Jeannie and Alan. Thank you very much, Democratic Club, as always.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
And before we go, we want to take a look ahead at our Monday movie, and it is a good one. It is The Color Purple, the new one that they just came out. Well, it's going to be presented by Harvard Eye Associates, and that's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. And of course, it is set on the book by Alice Walker, and it is set in 1909 with a musical that focuses on Celie, a black American girl who's given away in marriage by her abusive father to a local farmer who's named Albert, who treats her cruelly. She faces many hardships, but in the end, she finds strength and hope in some unbreakable bonds of sisterhood. Okay, let's take a quick check of the weather before we head out. And we may have some afternoon clouds for sure, and we may have a thunderstorm. Don't be surprised if we get a little bit of rain out there. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Tomorrow on the program, we'll have an update from our CEO for Village Management Services right here in the studio. For all of us here at This Day, we hope you make this one a great one.
We believe every senior should be able to remain healthy, happy, and at home. At Caring Senior Service, we understand the value of compassion and companionship. Our caregivers promote health, happiness, and independence. We cook nutritional meals, engage in meaningful activities, run errands, do light house cleaning, and more. Call us toll-free at 833-926-3700 or visit our website, CaringSeniorServiceLW.com. Healthy, happy home. Caring Senior Service.
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks. Remember me? I'm the king of whoopee. And you're watching Village Television. But everybody does.